Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we welcome you to A2Y. A2Y.
Hi, friends. Good evening to you and I, Bowan.
Hi, Buan. Welcome. So, once again, we are back on the second week of our A2Y. At least so far, we are 2 weeks consistent.
Yes,
So, how
yes.
has it been, Azi? How has the new year been?
Ha, you want the better version of it or the worst?
The truth.
Truth is bitter, my friend. Truth is bitter. well, nothing to complain. There are few areas to complain as well. However, it just you obviously know me how I celebrate New Year. I consider the New Year as a general
Another day.
standard day. General
Yes.
standard day, nothing new on it. So we make the days new. That's my perception.
Good. So anyway, yeah, I think we are exactly 1 week after the new year, right? The 1st of Jan, and it's amazing how 7 days have already gone through, right? 1 week is already over out of 52 weeks.
Yeah,
So whatever you do, we need to do fast. We need to act fast. We need to do it now, and I think that's the whole philosophy. So going back, Asi, last week we talked about how at Hash 33 we are building AI automations, and we talked about various
yes.
things. We talked about different examples, and one of the examples we were talking about was what? I forgot myself, but we were talking of different examples of how you can really work on real life. We were actually talking about the learning paths. Even an onboarding example we talked about when you onboard an employee, how do you kind of use AI to kind of create it? So today, Asi, we thought about talking a specific example, right, and share some
Yes.
use cases that we've already done with certain clients. Azi, do you like to talk about the problem first before I share and show it? If you can tell what is the problem we are solving in this case, I think that might be
Sure,
better.
sure. Yeah, and I hope you don't mind me having a good cup of tea in the evening.
I do actually because I don't mind having a tea myself, so I do mind you drinking.
Can't help. I am enjoying it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, talking about the problem, yes, this is actually what happened is during our customer conversations, this challenge came. One of our good client had a challenge because he was using AI, certain models to generate AI animations or rather AI videos. Falls under the fashion industry. And Yasas and myself, we were actually brainstorming about it, and challenge was how.
You're talking about the second customer, Asi. I'm talking about the first customer that we are going to show the examples of.
Okay, got it. I was
Okay, I
referring to
wasn't
the
specific.
second. Yeah.
I wasn't specific.
Because we had so many clients, right? So
Yeah,
numbers
yeah.
goes here and there. Yeah.
So
The
first fashion customer, not the product customers.
absolutely. The main challenge that they faced is also slightly similar to the second incident as well. So they didn't have a rather a big sufficient budget to invest on production.
Yes,
That's, I mean, I'm pretty sure most of the organizations are going through that. Budget is a constraint when it comes to certain activities. So the client specifically told us, we don't have a budget. These are my products, and how can you help us, or rather, how can you help me with the knowledge, AI knowledge that you all have? So that was the uh, igniting point for us to rethink how we can support this client with the knowledge that we had. So I
exactly.
believe I have covered the main challenge.
Exactly. And to speak with now, most of you when you watch this also you'll think, oh, so I can do this in ChatGPT, I can do this in
Hmm.
Gemini, I can do this in Runway or whatever. But the real problem is not that. If you don't have the right API and if you haven't built it in such a way that your prompt is optimized, the image is optimized. For an example, if you even if you use VO3,
Hmm.
you get the Gemini logo on it, right? The generated AI generated logo on that. That itself is a problem. Number two, if any of you have tried this, it's the prompt that makes it perfect. So unless you make your custom AI, your custom LLM, rather custom GPT, you
Mm.
can't really keep improving because it's going to use the standard LLM behind it and it's going to generate things with a lot of hallucination.
Yes.
So this is the same problem. I think these customers also have tried it. They've kind of, like you said, the second customer, they have used AI and they've tried to do it.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
it's not successful when you try to do it that way. So what we did was we built a AI process flow which can generate in various situations. And that's what we're going to show you today. So let me share the slides so that it will be very clear and it will be better to explain it that way. So this is the first customer you're talking of. So if you can
Yes.
notice, they were in the lingerie market. They had this nightwear product. What you see over here were the original photos given by the apparel producer. Now they had two problems. One is they wanted to have it according to this market, and this was in UAE.
Mm.
Second thing, they wanted more, a better model, and also they wanted a different kind of background. Now, of course, you can try to do that with editing tools. You can try to do it with standard AI tools. And then the next thing is they wanted video content, and this video content is
Mm.
not to fake the product. The product is good actually. They didn't want to kind of trick the customer with
Mm.
a AI generated model or whatever. The whole idea was to have social media interaction. So all of us know today we need videos to attract it. And if you are coming back to the problem as he was talking, if you are going to do production, getting a model, getting a location, camera crew, directing, makeup, so many costs go into it, right? And then if you want to change the model and have multiple models, you're going to have 2x, 3x, 4x depending on the number of models you're going
Mm.
to have. So
Mm. Mm.
now this is where we used the standard outfit photos they had. We used the standard background, and then with prompting we were able to generate this video. Now when we did this first, we were surprised ourselves because it looks so well, and the owner of this business was like, wow, I need to do this more and more. We really need
Mm.
to kind of create this stuff. And so far, because of that, we continue to do more and more business. So this is one good example. Let me show you another example.
Yeah. So before
This
we
ex-
go there, sorry, yes, before we go there, I want to add a point to what you said. Now, obviously, there are so many platforms that you can generate videos. Undoubtedly, you can. Right? And here, what we have actually mastered is the effectiveness of the prompt, and that has given us 98%. I'm not saying 100%. Still we are finding practical flows on the generated video. Nine, I would say, we are confidently saying it, up to 98% the generation is satisfactory level up to the client need and the requirement. And these are not long videos, maximum up to
Correct.
5 seconds, maximum up to 8 seconds videos, which can be
Yes.
utilized and reutilized for the advertising purposes as well.
Correct. You can use it on stories. You can have it for demonstration of the product. So this is how actually the customer wants to use it, and it helps the purpose because otherwise, you need to really do a lot of changes if you want to do production. Until you see the post production, you really don't know what it's going to look like. So this is help. Now obviously we are not trying to replace human models. This is not the
Absolutely.
purpose. It's not to cut down video production. But if you look at the small and medium businesses out there who are in these kind of businesses, they don't have the money or the budgets at the initial stage. So we are not saying big businesses, big brands should adopt this strategy. No, definitely nothing can beat real models. We are in real products and demonstrating that. That's the best situation, right? Because that is what would give you the real feel. As Asi said, 98%. There's 2% that you can't satisfy yourself with this kind of thing still. However, for the small and medium businesses, they are challenged. They especially if they have a good product, they cannot sell it because they can't create content today. And this is where
Mm.
the challenge is. Now, the second example is that now in this case, They just had, dummies, and they had their attire in the, in a dummy format, as you can see. Now, how do you sell this? You can't put this as a story. You can't put a wig on the dummy and put it on. I mean, you can, but it doesn't appeal. It might as well
mm,
you just take a photograph of the picture in a hanger, the product in a hanger, than putting a dummy like this on social media. So again, using this dummy outfit image, this is the exact image we got. Using a bedroom image and the prompting, this is actually what it came up with. So as you can see, it really and they wanted a European looking, model. So you can change whoever the model, the type, the country, the hair color, uh, skin tone, and so on and so forth. You can really do that, and you can try out things, maybe even from a designer perspective. What I realized was, Asi, you can see which color works on which skin tone. Now that is
mm,
something which gives a bonus advantage to the company, because now if they're designing clothing, they can try out on different models, different colors, different. They can do tweaks on this. Now that, without cutting clothes, without measuring, without doing things, you can really play out on what you have done here. That is actually going to be another benefit which nobody's talking at the moment. Even the apparel industry, biggest one of the biggest contributors to carbon footprint is from the apparel industry, because of the
mm,
water usage, the clothing, and the problem of fashion not being continuously worn, like clothes not being continuously worn. You kind of replace it after several uh, uh, wearings, right? So that's contributing, because you are going to replace it with new clothing. So
yes,
things like this are going to really help you to be more sustainable also. And I think the last example we want to share is this. Now, when you want to do kid photography, it's very challenging, because especially now in this client, they have different age sizes, right? So you need different models at different ages. Getting kids is a subjective thing. How can you get kids to be models and demonstrate the clothing?
mm,
There are ethical issues, and how do you really then get them in during, if you are going to do a video shoot, a photo shoot, getting different size of kids, different, and you can't have kids at the same time, right? You have to have them in different time slots. Videos, photo shoots are very strenuous. So this solved the problem. As you can see, this ai generated sorry this AI generated thing basically helped and sorted that issue. So this is a classic way to talk about how AI workflows can really help in building this kind of situation, in generating generative content in a way that you can use. Now, we are not recommending clients to use these videos to showcase how the product looks. No,
mm,
this is the usage of product, because you might still have minor differences in the real product that is being used, right? It's not the real product end of the day when you put it on AI model. It's not the real product, it's not a real model. So you should not never try to deceive your customer with a bad product, because
true,
AI can do that. You can have a badly stitched product. You can have cotton and call it satin in the
mm,
generation. So you can fake that. That's not the whole purpose. This is just to show, in the situation of a kid in a bedroom, in a intimate setting, office setting, right? How would you look? I mean, so much so you can actually give your photograph, Asi, and see
mm,
how the
mm,
t-shirt would look on you, right? That's one thing we
mm,
like to. That's why we go into fit on rooms. Of course, our body shapes might be a challenging thing, but for the longest time, I used to write down, ideas I get, and I was thinking of, what if makeup can be used on you without really wearing it in? How can you do it online? Is something I thought about 10 years ago. Today with Gen AI, you can do that. Filters on TikTok, that's exactly what it does, right? you
mm,
you
mm,
change your face with different things. It's a filter. So like that, this is a classic example of how you can build a AI workflow. And once you build it, you can generate and use it over and over. So in your organization, if you build an AI workflow similar to this, you can generate videos so that you can even create content every day. You don't need to wait for production teams to do it, post, edit, send it back and forth. Blah. Of course,
mm,
there might be still a wastage, because you might get generations that you don't like. but it's still cost effective. They're really doing a shoot and having a post production video sent to you, and you say like, let's reshoot again. So
Mm.
this is an example we wanted to share today. Asi, any thoughts you want to share on this?
Yeah. Yes, 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 and probably it's also, I feel it's good to share our customers and audience some of the challenges that might occur when we are doing it. I would say one of the biggest challenge is you can't edit the video,
Of course.
and you will have to accept the fact that the generated video is the final version of it. That we are actually working on it, but for the moment we can't do a lot of editing. That's
It's a new
one
generation.
challenge.
You generate from
Exactly.
beginning, right?
Yes, either otherwise we will have to generate from the beginning. And also it's not on only one application that we are using. We have combined multiple applications, and we have created our own workflow method to generate this. Maybe someone can, test it out and see. You use the um, one application to generate the image, another application to generate the video. It's not like that. Probably in another couple of sessions we can show them the workflow. I don't know. Yes, yes, maybe
Yeah,
a
probably
thought to
after some time we
digest.
can share it.
Yeah.
But as you said rightly, because you can do that, you can do it in isolation. You can take the photo, you can take a model, or you generate the human model. Then you say,
Mm.
okay, combine these two together. Then you say, okay, now create a video. This is what I want. The person wearing this frock in a candlelit
Yeah.
environment, turning left to right. I mean, you can do that. But the problem
Yes.
with that, it's a lot of work. You need to sit
Mm.
down and write prompt and change, and then again re-prompt, change it. Hallucination happens, then you have to kind of exclude, you should include, maybe change the, then go back, change the initial input that you gave. So much of time frame. Now when it's a
That's
workflow, you can do that in couple of minutes, right? You just have built the workflow. All you need to do is
mm.
replace the image, replace the prompt, type the, I mean, you can do the prompting, and with couple of tweaks you get that final input. So unless you're a technical person, it's not going to sound different to you, but if you have
Mm.
tried using AI generation, and especially video generation, you
Yes.
would know how challenging it is. And then the hallucinations that happens with that,
Mm.
hands in the wrong place, fingers in the wrong number of fingers, and you get all sorts. Of course hallucination is now reducing, but it's not as easy as we think. So this is for
Exactly.
anyone who's small and medium business, this particular application.
Mm.
And yeah, so these are the challenges that comes up, right,
Yeah.
Asi?
True. So we are only working with the fashion industry at this moment. Obviously, we are testing out in other industries as well. So if you are in the fashion industry, and if you like to explore this opportunity, please do connect with us, and we are here to help you. Obviously, there's a cost for that, and it's not like a 100% production where you have to invest. It's far better than that, and also cost effective for you. And that's the final thought that I wanted to push it.
Definitely. The whole objective is bringing down cost and creating more volume, right? So that you do it often. So that is possible with these kind of things. And once again, on the QR code you see on the screen, you can really go in and check the other AI workflows that we build. But the whole idea is to talk about how AI workflows can be built. Oh, one more thing, Azim, what we couldn't talk about. If you watched our last week's webinar, we created a story using AI. So it just
Mm.
took us couple of minutes to take the highlights of our video, which earlier we used to do manually. We used to tell our editors to kind of go pick the main areas and put Asitha on top, Yasas at bottom, pick this section of the 20 minutes video and do that. But if you notice, our stories that we use, even for this, probably we'll be generating couple of stories, which will happen
Yes.
in few seconds, right? So this is how AI can be used in the best way. So you don't waste your time, your resources in the wrong place. You use them for really important places, and you use AI for simplified processes. So
Mm.
I think that sums up our AI workflow discussion today. maybe next week we can talk about another workflow. And if you have any
Yes.
questions, sorry we didn't take any comments or questions today, send it to us, inbox us. You can find us easily on LinkedIn as well. And we are very happy. Use the QR code. You can contact us through the QR code by going to the web page and looking at this. And we are here to help you. Any last thoughts,
Right.
Asi? Or
Well, the same thing. We are here to help you as usual.
brilliant, brilliant. So with that, we are ending today's edition of A2Y. Thank you very much for joining in. Speak to us, engage with us, and we'll see you next week once again with another episode of interesting use case. And if you have any questions, we are happy to take them as well. Signing off. I'm Yasas.
And I'm Masi. See you next week.
See you guys.